Hey y'all, it's me, Dree. So my card pull today, it starts with 3 emotions. We have dilemma, we have introspection, and we have some sadness. Honestly, when I think about these emotions, they kind of feel like y'all are standing at the edge of a realization that y'all can no longer avoid. Because what I'm getting here is that a lot of y'all are stepping back into visibility again. Y'all are reconnecting with people in your energy fields. Y'all are socializing more. You're engaging again. You are putting yourselves back into the world after I'm getting a long season of isolation. If not isolation, then it was a long season of confusion. And if it wasn't confusion, then it was a long season of emotional heaviness in some sort of nature. And I'm getting that that's exactly where this dilemma begins. Because the first column of this spread, we've got the 3 of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the 9 of Wands, and the 9 of Coins reversed. So this column, well, it immediately brings in social gatherings, friendships. This is party energy, reunions, group settings, celebrations even. This is people interacting again. And y'all are doing it too. Y'all's energy is moving again. And then we have the Queen of Wands. So y'all right now, y'all are showing up magnetic as hell. This is attractive, confident, courageous. This is visionary. This is outgoing. I'm getting that y'all are carrying strong presence right now, and people around you, they're noticing it. And then the message moves into the 9 of Wands. And this is where I'm getting that despite y'all's confidence, despite y'all's attraction, and despite y'all's social movement, the collective still has their guard up. And that makes sense because I'm getting that y'all have learned the hard way that attention, that does not equal alignment. And you've learned the hard way that chemistry, that does not equal emotional safety. And attraction does not mean somebody deserves to access you in the first place. So this becomes a real test of boundaries. This is a test of y'all's endurance, a test of y'all's discernment, and this is a test of whether or not y'all can remain open without abandoning yourselves in the process. And this first column, it ends with this 9 of Coins reversed. So this is the deeper dilemma underneath all of this, because this reversal specifically talks about undervaluing yourself. This is overgiving working too hard for free. This is lacking self-worth. So what I'm getting here is that the collective, y'all are actively trying to figure out where y'all are still overextending yourselves emotionally. This is y'all asking, who deserves my energy? And who deserves my softness? And even who deserves my time? Because all of y'all, you're all realizing that just because somebody is attracted to you, that does not mean they are equipped to sustain you properly, right? And honestly, I'm getting that this realization alone is changing the way y'all move altogether, because then it turns to this introspection. And this whole center column feels like the collective internally processing why certain connections hit them so deeply in the first place. Because with this center column, we have the Five of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Nine of Swords, and the Two of Cups reversed. So, because this starts with this Five of Wands, I'm getting that internally there's conflict here. This is confusion, competing thoughts, emotional friction. This is mental chaos, and this is trying to sort through mixed signals, mixed emotions, and even conflicting desires. And what ignites all of this? That's the Ace of Wands. This tells me that yes, there is real attraction here. There's real chemistry, real desire. There's also real excitement. Something or someone has activated y'all very strongly. And that's important, because this spread is not saying that the spark is fake. I'm getting that this spark is very real. But what happens next is where this introspection starts to deepen. Because immediately after this ignition, we land in the Nine of Swords. That's mental anguish, anxiety, fear. This is worry, and this is psychological trauma. And what I'm getting here is that some of y'all are starting to realize that attraction itself, that activates y'all's nervous system now. Not because you don't want love, and not because you're closed off, but because you're realizing that your body is remembering what instability feels like. Your body is remembering inconsistency. Your body is remembering betrayal. And your body remembers being emotionally unsafe while trying to convince yourself that everything was okay. And that is the very reason alone that we end this center column with the Two of Cups reversed, because this introspection that y'all are doing is leading y'all to a very uncomfortable truth. And the truth, well, that's that some connections were not love. They were attachment. And this card is extremely specific because it says rescuing, caretaking, enabling, clinging. And it says seeking approval. And it also says codependency. So now the collective is starting to ask themselves, am I drawn to this because it's aligned? Or am I drawn to this because it feels emotionally familiar? And boy, oh boy, is that a painful realization to sit with. Isn't it? I'm saying it is, because then we move into this emotion of sadness. But honestly, this doesn't feel like desperation. This feels like acceptance. Because this column we have the 8 of Wands reversed, the Knight of Cups, the 7 of Wands, and the 7 of Swords. We haven't had very many reversals this spread, and I don't think that that's a coincidence. But what I am going to say is that this 8 of Wands reversed, this is here. And it specifically talks about delays, stalls, lost momentum. This talks about needing time to align. So I'm getting that y'all start slowing down intentionally once this sadness hits. There's no more rushing. There's no more forcing. There is no more sprinting towards chemistry before y'all's discernment catches up. And because of that, we land in the Knight of Cups. This energy feels much more grounded coming in. This is practical, conservative. This is responsible, and this is slow. So I'm getting with this slowdown that comes after the sadness, y'all start moving differently now. Instead of asking, do I want this? Well, now y'all are asking, can this sustain itself? Can I trust this long term? You're asking, is this emotionally responsible, and is this stable? And those are all really good questions to ask, because I'm getting that y'all asking these questions, that is a sign of emotional maturity. Because the 7 of Wands that follows shows that y'all are standing up for yourselves. This is making a stand, holding the line, protecting y'all's peace. The words, "it's my life," that stands out heavily to me on this card. Because I'm getting that y'all are no longer willing to abandon yourselves just to maintain connection. There is no more collapsing y'all's standards to keep people comfortable. There is no more shrinking boundaries to avoid losing somebody that you probably aren't very connected to start. But more than all of that, this is no more choosing chemistry over your clarity. And then we end this entire spread and this message with the 7 of Swords. This is not what it seems. false pretenses. This is wearing a mask. Strategic behavior. Hidden motives. And to be honest, this ending feels less like shock and more like disappointment. Because I think deep down that the collective already sensed all of this. Y'all already felt the inconsistencies. Y'all already felt the emotional imbalance. Y'all already noticed the disconnect between the words being spoken and the energy. And now, the sadness, well, that comes from fully accepting what your intuition was trying to show you all along. Your intuition has a crazy way of doing that. But I'm going to say that the beautiful thing here is that I'm getting y'all did not collapse into attachment this time. No, you did not. What you did is y'all slowed down. Y'all observed. Y'all protected y'allselves. Y'all chose alignment over fantasy. And this right here, this is the real transformation happening in this spread. Now that you can see things for what they are clearly, now the decisions really are going to be yours to make, right? This is no more leaning on uncertainty. This is no more leaning on false pretenses. This is leaning on y'all selves. Because when you do that, I'm getting that every time this Seven of Swords energy circles your existence, you're going to catch it every single time now. And I've been saying it already. This is where everything changes. All you have to do is show up and be consistent. So if this message found y'all exactly where you are supposed to be, then I'm asking you to engage with this reading intentionally. Not just with a like, but engage by asking yourself honestly, where am I still mistaking emotional activation for alignment? And tell me about it. Because the moment y'all stop chasing the things that destabilize you, that's when your entire reality starts to change. And that's when the right people, the aligned people, can finally find the real version of y'all. We just got to get through this to land where we land. We're getting close, and I can feel it. If you can feel it, then tell me. And remember, where there is love, there is light. I'll see you all again real soon.